this was obviously a huge gathering place for students because the cafeteria was so huge that we walked around everywhere. There were actually 2 cafeterias in this building because they had a massive home ec program and then a really, really large program, obviously just to feed the students at the school. So a really large cafeteria was in here. So anyways, we'll keep this, we'll reprogram this. We'll keep these 2 like theater pits, what I like to call right here, kind of like these amphitheaters. We're bringing in some artificial turf, and we're bringing in obviously all putting it in courtesy of our very own Memphis Native Tree Works. So Annalise and Mike have got a huge, robust plant list that's going to be used here. So we've got a number of native trees. There also were some other trees that we had to pull out because they were dying. But these.
Do you know why the school closed?
Sure. There was a large population loss within the neighborhood, and obviously that directly affects the schools. A lot of that was directly related to people just moving out of the community. Klondike was a working class community, and so we're right next to Smoky City, which achieved its name from the fact that there were these historical smokestacks of a lot of the factories that were in the neighborhood. So that's just literally on the opposite side of the expressway right there. As soon as you go into the viaduct, that's Smoky City neighborhood. But saying all that to say, there were a number of industrial-like businesses. The Firestone plant closed down, which is just up the road in Fraser. International Harvester also in Fraser right now. Those were a lot of the employers in this area throughout Memphis, North Memphis, and Fraser. And so a lot of people lost their jobs. So the community went through a lot of decline, a lot of struggle, and all of that, goes hand in hand with population loss at your schools as well. So I think the last graduating class had less than 70 students in it, somewhere around that number. And the entire population of this school at the time was just barely, I believe, under 200 students. So you think about it from the school system's perspective, if you are still providing services, if you're still obviously paying bills, the larger bills you might imagine would be utilities, in addition to others, and you're only using roughly 15% of the building, you got some problems on your hands. Essentially, the school is being underutilized and it's not populated. The school closed down and has been vacant since 2016. MSCS did operate a culinary program out of it for a short time. Back to Life won't be an actual school, but I did mention to you that we'll have the trade school. So we can go here. Vendors, essentially provide food service. They'll operate right here. Really cool. Grab lunch. We're sitting here. Partake in the natural light. Really cool glass. Oh no, absolutely not. One of the challenges we had, basically everywhere where you see light is brand new, because this, this wasn't designed to be anything else other than a school. And so this is one of 2 skylights that we have in the building. There's a smaller one in the back, but this is the largest one. And so all of this was cut out. All of these that you see were also cut out as well. And so this is all brand new, all a way for us to try and bring natural light into the, and you'll really be able to appreciate it when we get up on the residential level. But we'll keep moving through. And so obviously that just allows an opportunity to bring natural light into otherwise what is a really, really dark building. And even now with since we're down and don't even have permanent power, you can see how dark it is now. So you can imagine what it was like when it was a school. If you didn't have lights on, you basically couldn't see anything. Yeah. And so Code Crew should be our second or third. I don't know whether it's them or, well, technically, I guess the gymnasium is pretty large too. But they're probably third, fourth largest tenant between them and Life Docs. But anyways, this will be their space right here. All of this space, as well as all of that space, is their offices. Do y'all know what Code Crew is and what they do?
I was gonna ask.
Yep, and so Code Crew, they do everything from obviously teaching coding, as well as AI. And so they'll be doing all of that. In their tenant build out plan, the area that we're walking through right now is actually gonna be raised up about 4 feet to level with that right there. And so all of this will essentially be level on one level. They've got some bathrooms that are going in over there, and then their office space is up against the glass right here. And so basically that puts us officially on the first floor level now. You know, we're kind of jaded because it's kind of like unbalanced right now, but it will be balanced. And so this will be the entirety of their build out space. They have about a $7 million campaign that they're engaged in right now to build out their space and kind of get their operations started at this site. So it's be a really cool opportunity for them to be here, and just, you know, some really good opportunity for them to interact and get engaged with the community, and obviously the students as well. So we're looking forward to having them here. Yep. Y'all want to go upstairs? Y'all impressed? Y'all being quiet. Taking it all in.
I didn't realize that y'all had the uniform go in front of the
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of like the architect's thought, because I mean, I really wouldn't have thought about it that way, I don't think. So let's see, yep, we've got them on here. Memphis Symphony, Literacy Mid-South, Life Docs is beneath us, Code Crew is beneath us. We'll talk about Dream Sports in just a second. But this is the entirety of their space, Literacy Mid-South. And then, if I'm not, we've switched it up a couple of times, but this takes us back to the auditorium. And so Steve's law firm, or our collective law firm, will be up here on this level. Y'all might find some interest in that. Yep. And then as we walk back, the Works will have some office space. I'll show you that. This is the cosmetology classroom right here. So that's exactly where that came from. This is gonna be like some community space, art space.
This is new.
This is the former library for the school. Yep.
This is new. This was
Oh, you haven't been in here that long since they closed it off? Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, they got this finished about 3 weeks ago. Yep. Really cool, you know, opportunity to just have some community space, some gathering space, art space, opportunity to look out on the courtyard, you know, just kind of take in the view. Must have touched something. Light on your phone. And so these kind of doubled as like classrooms with the petitions, and obviously the stage is right there. We'll start construction on this after the entire tenant build out is complete. This will be a separate phase. We actually started talking about the financing on this a couple of weeks ago. But this will be an additional phase sometime in the late spring next year is when we'll start to build this out. But obviously Memphis Symphony Orchestra, as well as others, and we'll have an organization that'll manage the space, but Memphis Symphony Orchestra will be able to bring plays and different things here to the community that obviously otherwise they wouldn't be able to take advantage of, or just, you know, having something coming into, you know, this reuse of the space. It won't be 1,200 seats. Right now, I think the plan is maybe between 500, 600, something like that, what I've heard. So obviously we've talked to a number of theater consultants, and they said, you know, 1,200 is probably too big. So, yeah, it is huge.
Did they ever have 1,200 students?
Oh yeah. In its heyday, I mean, when the neighborhood was, you know, bustling back in the 60s and 70s, you know, yeah. Yep.
They had a lot of kids.
Had a whole lot of kids. Like I said, it was the largest school they had. So yeah, a whole lot of that.
It was also the first school to be integrated.
Yes, it was. I keep forgetting that. You're absolutely right, though. It was. Welcome home. This will be a total of 42 1- and 2-bedroom units, all affordable. And I'll take y'all to what I think are some of the really cool ones. We can go and just check one out. I think this, oh yeah. This is nice. It is nice, Yep. So it's kind of like you at home. This actually wouldn't be that bad of a view.
If they would open the pool.
Yeah, that's the Katie Sexton Community Center. Yeah, it is. I hadn't seen it since they drained it. Or I hadn't looked at it. Oh. There's the community pool.
Are you gonna bring it back?
Well, that's the city. That's the city of Memphis. So it's actually, I guess you could kind of like call it an extension of their community center. This is a 1-bedroom unit. I thought this was a 2. Let me see. This is a, yeah, this is a 1. This is a 1-bedroom unit. So the bedroom is right there. There's your bedroom. There's your bath. I bet you could make this one into a bedroom too. I wonder if this is a 1 or a 2 because, no, I guess this is not a bedroom.
This is the main door?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess this is like the living area, and then this is for your kitchen connections. Yeah, then you got the 1-bedroom. It's spacious and nice.
And it's mine.
Again, you get the natural light. Mm-hmm.
This is gonna look like a fancy mall in here. Wow.
Fancy mall, huh?
This
Let's
is so
see,
nice.
this one, I think this is a, yeah, this is gonna be a 2-bedroom. Yeah. No, this is a 1-bedroom. But this is kind of one of the grand views. You know, you get the plaza view right here.
Is the plaza gonna be that reddish color?
No, it will be, and so it's a darker tone that's gonna be in there that they haven't started pouring yet. But that reddish color, I think, stops where you see it, if I'm not mistaken. And then obviously this concrete one that's going east to west, that will continue. And then they'll put the full drive in, and then we'll have some other planning features in there. And some of that in there is where the actual furniture will go that we were talking about, like the areas for people to sit or whatnot, the planter boxes, all that good stuff.
Amazing.
Yep. It is gonna be amazing. It really is. Man, I didn't realize it was that hot. I'm burning. I'm burning. I should have got some cold water.
What's that?
He looks like you're on the Northside Square.
Like you're on what?
He looks like he's part of the crew here and it's part of
Oh yeah.
Like he's an engineer.
Yep. Surveyor or something.
Maybe you should
Yep.
have slowed down for the summer. I'm happy to know now.
So these are really cool. These are 2 utility units there, but these are storage spaces. And so people will have opportunity to rent out some storage spaces, huh?
Oh, storage.
Yeah.
Do the residents have their own parking areas?
Yeah, well, so parking will kind of be, it'll be assigned, and that'll be obviously from the west side. Yep, yep. So there will be residential dedicated spots. Yep. Show y'all, wait a minute, now here's the one I want to show y'all over here. The corner unit. It's easy to get turned around in here, especially with it being dark. This is the unit, like everybody's favorite unit, because it's the most well lit. This is a 2-bedroom. Really, really, really nice. They put the plastic up already. But this one has a lot of light.
I love this one because it's got
Yeah.
south facing and west facing windows.
So this is the bedroom. Closets in the bath. And then I want y'all to remember this bedroom, because the opposite where y'all are standing or where we're standing, is literally nighttime because there are no windows. Right, this is the former gymnasium, soon to be the new decked out gymnasium. So one of the things about Northside was home to like a number of great basketball teams throughout the years. There were city championships that were held here. So this is also one of the largest gymnasiums in the city. There were actually 3 courts, 2 of which were regulatory. We'll come back online with 2 courts that are regulatory courts. So we're gonna be doing everything here from obviously AAU tournaments in the summertime, pickleball tournaments. There are about 4 to 8 classrooms on the backside here that we're actually gonna have opportunities for either the teams or visitors or users of the gymnasium will be able to take opportunities for that space. There are 3 former employees of the Memphis Grizzlies in operating this area. Yep, and so they'll be in charge of the gymnasium. So as I indicated earlier, the school, Berea, where Fenice's son goes, they'll be able to use this space as well for programming during the daytime. And then they'll have different types of activities in the evening or summertime, spring months when school's not in session, that'll take place in this gymnasium. So it's kind of cool, kind of cool, kind of cool. Yep. You know, it's given, it's kind of like, you know, giving you the thought process behind what are the various ways that you can use a former school which is part of a larger story throughout cities across America, because it's not just Memphis, right? It's schools closing down in every city you go to, and all of those schools are in the middle of neighborhoods. So, you know, this is one of the first of its kind in Memphis, where we say, you know, okay, how do we rethink this? How do we make this make sense, you know, in terms of how to use the community asset? Because obviously, we talked about the larger plan that y'all have been hearing people talk about, the stuff that Corey's doing with the CLT, moving Klondike forward. None of that happens if you don't have something happening with this huge vacant 270,000 square foot structure. So this is kind of like the pinnacle or the capstone of redeveloping and rethinking the neighborhood and the community. So, yep. Y'all seen enough? Y'all sweated enough?
This place is really cool.
It is cool, isn't it? It is cool.